For many years of my life, I've played video games. I am a gamer. But playing video games has affected me in a way that has made me a completely different person than if I had never played them in the first place. They really touched me and they shaped me into the person that I am today. So today I just wanted to, talk about the games that have really affected me as a person and games that I've played for a really long time and that I really love. I also kind of wanted to talk about these communities behind the games and what's special about them and how they've changed me and how they've changed the internet as a whole. So I guess the structure of this video is going to be, from the start of my life as a little baby boy to right now, a not little baby boy. So yeah, here we go. So it all starts when I'm 2 years old. It's 2001. And my grandmother, she bought all the families in our big conjoined family a GameCube. So all of us kids, her grandchildren got GameCubes. And ooey, that changed my life right there. She's the reason I'm big gamer. I'm big stinky. There are so many GameCube games that just I wouldn't put down as a child. Like Luigi's Mansion, Smash Brothers Melee, Mario Sunshine, Mario Party 7. All these games were games that I played endlessly. And I guess that's how I got hooked on video games right there. I remember, even though I was 4 years old, one day I had beaten Luigi's Mansion by myself, with no help from anybody else. And that was the first time I had ever done that with a video game. Just, beat it on my own. And it really felt good, just sitting there watching the credits. I don't know, it felt really, really accomplished. Very nice. That was the first thing I ever achieved in a game, I guess. And so yeah, ever since then I've been a big Nintendo fanboy. Like, I remember getting the Wii when it came out, playing Wii Sports with the whole family, riding home one day from McDonald's with that copy of Super Mario Galaxy in my hand. Oh, that game. Oh. I tried 100%ing it, but I couldn't because I was too frustrated by it. I still beat it, but I didn't 100% it. But the Wii U era came, and now we're at the Switch. And oh my god, so many Switch games have just brought that feeling of childlike wonder back to me, like Super Mario Odyssey, Smash Brothers Ultimate. Oh, such good games. Nintendo is one of those companies where they rarely ever put out a bad game. All of their games are subpar at worst, and at their best they redefine the industry, and that's what I love about them. So they're just so goofy and weird, but they capture what I love about games in the first place, is just having fun. Also, a big thing with the Nintendo community is the Nintendo Directs that they put out. Starting in early 2010s, they started doing these Nintendo Direct things on the Wii channel. So you'd boot up your Wii and you'd see that this Nintendo Direct thing was happening. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Let's give this a watch. And they'd talk all about these new games that were coming out. No other company did that at the time. It was just cool and different. It was good to hear from a company, from them firsthand. Along with that, Nintendo Power, but unfortunately Nintendo Power is gone. I remember taking Nintendo Powers to middle school and reading them, and in hindsight that was probably a really nerdy thing to do. But, to this day, so many people get excited when they see that notification that a new Nintendo Direct is coming out. Everyone everyone's streams to get their reactions, you know? Just see all the new games, the fun announcements. Oh, some of the best internet moments I've ever seen have come from reactions to the Nintendo Directs. Essentially, Nintendo's core audience is just like a big meme cult. Like, we farm memes and just put them out as fast as we possibly can as soon as a new game comes out or whatever. It's crazy. It's crazy how fast people are on this. But yeah, from start to finish, Nintendo's been with me for a long time, and I love them, and I probably always will. TF2. Oh, TF2. Now, when I was 13 years old, and I still had this big Windows XP tower computer sitting in my basement, and I would use that to, like, you know, go on YouTube, play Flash games and whatnot. But I realized, after seeing on YouTube people playing games on their PCs, I realized, hey, I kind of want to do that too. So I begged my parents to get me a nice Windows 8 laptop, and they did. And the first 3 games I got on Steam with my, like, $10 or whatever I had was Castle Crashers, Super Meat Boy, and then this free game that I saw so much about, Team Fortress 2. That was the first PC game I ever booted on, like, a real PC. Not like my old Windows XP, where I'd play, like, Putt Putt Save the Zoo. That was my first real PC game. And oh man, it was like love at first sight all over again. I have sunk so many hours into that game. It is absurd. In fact, it says on my Steam profile that I have 957 hours on record, which is close to 40 full days of gameplay. And honestly, that's something that I would never want to give back. I would never want to replace that with anything. That game made me just so happy with PC gaming. Like, despite it being just a regular old FPS, there was so much variety, so many things that you could do in the game. You could play any of the different classes, and on top of that, try out their different weapons and their different mini kits. Like, every class had something different to do. Like, if you didn't want to play Demo Man with your sticky bomb launcher and your grenade launcher, you could try Demo Knight with your sword and your boots. And on top of that, there were different game modes all over the place. Like, you could play Capture the Flag, you could play Payload Race, you could just do the standard Hold the Point. There were even games on the community, like, work page that, oh. Like, I remember playing TF2 where I remember playing the Saxton Hale mode, Prop Hunt, and then Death Run. Death Run was a mode that I have probably put more hours into than the base game. That's how much I loved it back then. The longevity of that game was astounding. Like, I played it for almost 4 years straight, every single day. And I never got tired of it. There were so many things to do. And the community was so lively and great. There were so many people making videos on YouTube, SFM animations, there was artwork, memes, everything under the sun. Somebody had made TF2 a parody of it. And that's what I love about the game, is that despite it not being, like, as popular as it was back in 2012, these characters in this game keep popping up everywhere. We still love these characters and we want them to come back. I want them to come back. I want this game to be updated, but they haven't updated it since 2017. Also, another weird thing that this game introduced me to was a virtual economy. Like, in the game, you can get metal, and this metal can be turned into keys or hats. And the keys were worth $2.50, and the hats had this value determined to them on the Steam market. So basically, an entire economy springs up around all of these items, and I go, hey, whoa, I can get items and trade them with people for real world money? This is crazy. And so I got really into that for a while. I remember one day I found this gambling site where I put in like, I don't know, $2 worth of items and then got $20 back. I was astounded. And then I lost all of my items just like that. And it kind of taught me the value of, I guess, having what you have, and also quitting while you're ahead. Yeah, it's a weird thing to be introduced to on a PC game, but I was introduced to online economy, I guess, with this game.
What is your problem? Missile alone ramp. Missile alone ramp.
CSGO. One of the next big PC games that I bought. And this one was a lot different from Team Fortress 2 in that it was still a first-person shooter, but it was a lot more realistic. Like, there were actual spray patterns to guns. You had to focus, you had to get good spots on the map, figure out how to work with your team. Despite Team Fortress 2 having team in the title, you would kind of just go off on your own. But in CSGO, you actually had to work as a team. But yeah, this game was another big time sink. It also introduced me to toxicity and negativity online. This is the first game that I played where people would start getting legitimately angry at people for playing the game badly. And I don't know, I guess that was interesting to me because I hadn't really seen it anywhere before. Not in TF2 or Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy was a single-player game. Team Fortress 2, everybody was really nice in Team Fortress 2. In CSGO, people were a lot more, not nice. This game also had its fair share of, online economy and gambling. I remember I also participated in this economy a little bit. Tried to unbox some boxes, get cool skins, go on to CSGO Lotto, watch matches, watch esport matches, get skins back for putting in a right bet. Speaking of, this game is when I got addicted to esports. There was this new thing coming to TV called E-League, where CSGO teams would play against each other, and you could watch the matches and get skins in-game on this website that I was using. And that was fascinating to me. I didn't know that people were playing games online and making money off of it, like big money off of it. I didn't know that people were being broadcast playing these games across America. I guess it just never really occurred to me back then. But it was really fun watching these matches, getting really invested in them, learning about the players and the teams. It was pretty fun back then. And CSGO is kind of where I started meeting more friends online. Like, around the CSGO era of my life, I started, you know, meeting more people online, getting into more servers, and talking to more people. And these relationships I built up are still relationships that I have today. And I'm glad that I met people and had fun times with them on this game. But yeah, I don't play this game as often as I used to. I still play it a little bit, but I don't know. It's kind of a little too serious for my tastes today. So, later on in my life, in about 2014, early 2015, my friends that I had met through other games, we were recommending games to each other to play together. And one of my friends recommended that I start playing a game called Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft. And I was really taken aback, because I knew that Warcraft was kind of like a game where it's kind of, you know, hard to get into. But I figured, yeah, why not? I'll try this Hearthstone game. It's not Warcraft, after all. It's like this card game, I guess. And then I started playing the tutorial. and one of the computers, they dropped on this 1-mana, 2/1 Murloc Raider. And as soon as that happened, I went, oh, that's the thing that makes the funny sound in the video that I watched one time. That's funny, I like this game now. And now, I've been playing the game for 5 years. Everybody starts somewhere, kids. So I got into Hearthstone after the Grand Tournament expansion, but before the League of Explorers expansion, so somewhere in between that era. But I don't know what drew me to this game so much. It was just something new that I haven't even tried before, like card games. I mean, I heard of Pokemon, but I never got into the card game version of Pokemon. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering seemed too off-putting to me, but this game is a great game to get into card games with. I mean, it hooked me long ago. But yeah, eventually more and more people that I knew were getting into this game, and it was so fun building these decks, finding new cards, trying them out against new people, and just, you know, having fun with your friends playing a quaint little card game. And expansions came and went, but I think my favorite era of this game was Mean Streets of Gadgetzan, which was, I believe, in 2017. Even though it was the most unbalanced the game has pretty much ever been, I just really loved it. I loved playing those decks that I had back then. But as time went on, more people kind of left the game due to, you know, various problems with the game, people getting uninterested. But I'm still here. I'm still kicking. I'm buying all them expansions and whatnot. Help. And the game is still really fun to me. It's just always fresh to me. I don't know. I just like this card game. This funny, silly little card game. Maybe it shortened my attention span because I only play short-form games now. Sitting down to play a single-player game rots my brain. Maybe Hearthstone has ruined my mind. Or it made my brain so big that I only play it now. Hearthstone is still a big part of my daily routine. Like, sometimes I'll play it when I get home from school, before I go to work, whenever. It's just a nice, relaxing game to chill out and play. I don't know, it's something I'm glad I found. Just this nice, chill game to play when nothing's really happening. Also, maybe it made my brain bigger, who knows? Maybe it made my brain smaller. It also made me addicted to Blizzard games, so... oops. So, Heroes of the Storm. Heroes of the Storm came later, after I had started getting into Hearthstone, because I wanted to try more of these Blizzard games, to see if, you know, all of them were as fun as Hearthstone. And all I knew about Heroes of the Storm at the time was that it was like League of Legends, like a MOBA game, but it wasn't as toxic. And also, it had Warcraft characters. And I knew some of the Warcraft characters. I know Jaina, and Thrall, and Malfurion. I stare at their JPEGs while playing Hearthstone all day. I get them. I know how to do them. So yeah, this game was my first MOBA, and it's another type of game that I've gotten addicted to in recent years. It has a lot of Warcraft lore in this game. It's something that I didn't think I would ever enjoy, but it really got me into it. I like enjoying Warcraft lore from a distance, mostly because of this game and how many Warcraft characters there are in it. Also, this game introduced me to a fresh brand of salt, MOBA salt. People get so nitpicky about how you play MOBAs. Like, if you are even a little bit out of position, people will let you know. But ooh-wee. MOBA games are, like, either so unfun and boring if you're losing, but if you're winning, they're so unbelievably fun to play. Like, my favorite character in Heroes of the Storm was Murky. And Murky is just like this little baby Murloc character hanging out with all these cool, like, sorcerers and buff men. So basically, as Murky, you're a little baby boy. You have the smallest health pool in the game, so everyone bullies you the entire early game. But, if you die, you come back with a lower death timer, and you only count as a quarter of a kill, because your health bar is so small. And you can set your spawn with one of these little egg characters here, the little egg, because he's like a little baby, he pops out of the egg, that's funny. But he scales incredibly quickly. Basically, you play the entire early game like a little bitch, running away from everybody and not really doing much, but during the end game, you can just stomp people into the ground. It's so fun playing weird characters and stomping as them. It's like, oh, this guy's playing Murky, he must suck. And then, ooh, yeah, Heroes of the Storm, great game. It's super simple MOBA, really easy to get into, probably the simplest MOBA that there is and has ever been, but it's kind of fallen off for me recently as I get more and more into League, because I've stopped caring about Salt. But yeah, great game. If you like Blizzard, you'd like Heroes of the Storm. It's got fun characters, you know, Warcraft characters, StarCraft, Diablo, Overwatch. Overwatch? So, Overwatch. In 2016, on the Blizzard launcher, I learned that there's a new game coming out, and it's called Overwatch. Whoa, what is it? Oh, it's an FPS. It's a colorful team-based FPS, with fun heroes and wacky antics. Similar to another game that I loved to play all the time. So I mean, why wouldn't I try it? So I played the open beta of this game, and once again, it was another game that I fell in love with and played for hours and hours and hours after it came out. And it was really fun for the first year that it was out, when all of my friends were playing and all the content was new. It was fresh, it was fun, good times were had by all. And then, as the game kind of kept going through its life cycle, people started leaving, the game got more negative, things were changing every 3 minutes, because the game was wildly unbalanced most of the time. So the game became less and less fun as time went on. I made a video, a big long video about the technical side of Overwatch and, you know, what made it less fun as the time went on. But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun with this game, I really did. But today, I can't really say that I have as much fun as I did with Overwatch. It's still a game that really affected me as a gamer, and it's had a great community. It had a community much like the TF2 community, and then as it got more negative, it kind of lost that community, which is sad. I really hope that Overwatch 2 kind of fixes all the problems of Overwatch and brings the community back. It'd be nice. It's probably not going to happen, but it'd be nice. And so, that brings us to today. Games I play a lot today. League of Legends is one of them. It's a game that I've gotten into very recently, but I have been enthralled with it. Whether it's playing TFT or just playing the base game, I'm always having a lot of fun, even if it is really toxic. Once again, it's like Heroes of the Storm, where if you're losing, it's not very fun, but if you're winning, oh, it's the most fun you can have. A lot of people I know have described League of Legends to me like crack, where once you start, you just can't stop. And yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. But now for some honorable mentions in games that have touched me in a special way. So Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege was very similar to CSGO. in that, you know, it's pretty realistic and gritty. But me and my friends like to mess with that game and see how far we could push it and do stupid stuff with the game. And that's kind of where our stupidity began, I guess. One thing that I'll always remember from Rainbow Six Siege is the name changes that we always made as a squad. At one point in Rainbow Six Siege, while we were all playing it, we have been Tobey Maguire fan like 2 through 9, and we've been all of the Monster cereal mascots. And then this kind of shifted over to the new Call of Duty when that came out. Call of Duty's another game where me and my friends have been trying to, like, you know, push its boundaries, see what we can do. Black Ops 4 was a lot better for that, but Modern Warfare still has been pretty fun. With its cross-play, being able to play with giant parties of people. It's great. Sea of Thieves is a game that I would like to get back into. We were so enthralled with this game for a couple weeks and then fell off of it, but it's just a really fun game of playing pirate, just stealing shit from other people, finding treasure, fighting skeletons, not doing the cargo runs because those are boring. But yeah, if that game got like actual content other than just like, just go be a pirate, then it would be a great game. If there was like a story that you could actually complete other than like the missions that they've already added, that would be just great. Please, I want to play that game again. World of Warcraft is the worst new player experience I've ever seen in any video game. I tried playing it once, and I just couldn't do it. It was always the same thing. You'd boot it up, and if you're Alliance, you'd go up to a guy, and you'd be like, "Hello, traveler! I need you to go into a cave and kill these 8 kobolds." And then you'd go do it for 20 minutes, and you'd come back, and he'd be like, "Okay, now do it again, but this time you need to kill 12, and you have to kill the ones with the helmets and not the ones with the candles on their heads." So you'd do that, and you'd come back after 45 minutes, and he'd say, "Okay, now go to Stormwind and get a new mission." And then you'd walk your ass to Stormwind for an hour because you couldn't unlock mounts yet because you're not cool enough. And then you'd go to Stormwind, get a mission, and then you'd have to walk another hour to some different place. And when you get there, you know what you get? "Hello, traveler! I need you to go into this empty field and kill 8 boars." It's like, what's the point of all this? Can I just play the cool story missions, please? It's no wonder that every time they announce a new expansion for Warcraft, you buy it, and when you do buy it, you get a level boost to 110 for a certain character. That way you can just skip all the stupid early game bullshit and just get to the good stuff. But then you're not learning how to play the game, and that's another problem in itself. And of course, all these Battle Royale games, you know, PUBG, Fortnite, Apex Legends, all games that kind of have like a bell curve for me, where I was like, not into this, kinda into this, okay, now I'm really into this, and that would happen for like a couple weeks, and then I'd be like slowly declining until I fall out of it again. It's been like that for literally all of them. Like Fortnite, ugh. Playing Fortnite with the Battle Pass on was like a chore. Going to these specific locations and having to get a certain amount of kills at a certain time of day while it's Black Friday and a full moon is out. It's like, why? Am I playing a game? Am I having fun? But enough nitpicking. The point of this video was to say that these gaming communities and gaming as a whole has really affected the way I live my life and who I am today. And I wouldn't be the same without them. So I guess I owe something to these game developers and the internet for making me who I am. So thank you. I love you.